We've already confirmed 2 executive branch nominees and will process 2 more before the end of the week. First up is Jelena McWilliams, President Trump's well-qualified pick to chair the FDIC Board of Directors. This week, we've also seen an impressive proposal to reform the way Congress handles workplace claims, especially claims of harassment. The Democratic leader and I strongly support this proposal, as do our colleagues Senator Blunt and Senator Klobuchar. All this comes in addition to 2 major Senate-passed bills that passed the House this week and are now headed to the President's desk to become law. The legislation championed by our colleague Senator Johnson, which will give terminally ill patients the right to try experimental drugs that are still making their way through the full FDA approval process, and the major streamlining of Dodd-Frank regulations for smaller lenders and community banks, thanks to the leadership of Senator Crapo. This legislation will help secure access to credit for middle-class families and small businesses, and the President will sign it just a few hours from now. There's also important activity underway at the committee level. Chairman Barrasso is leading the Environment and Public Works Committee through consideration of measures to improve and expand America's waterways infrastructure. Chairman Shelby and Appropriations Committee today have already begun their work on the annual funding bills. Following the committee's robust discussions, I look forward to bringing the appropriation bills they craft here to the Senate floor. And earlier this week, the Armed Services Committee began considering this year's defense authorization bill. They have a solid foundation on which to build, thanks to the historic agreement reached earlier this year that delivered the highest year-on-year increase in funding for our armed forces in 15 years. One bill after another, one confirmation after another, the Senate continues to produce major accomplishments that will directly improve the lives of the American people. Now, on that subject, yesterday brought another piece of exciting news for American workers and middle-class families. The U.S. manufacturer United Technologies announced new plans to invest $15 billion right here in America and hire 35,000 American workers in the next several years. This Fortune 100 company makes a wide variety of engineered products from jet engines to elevators. Now, because of this favorable climate for business growth, investment, and job creation, they're putting billions into research and development and capital investment and creating tens of thousands of new jobs openings. And to fill some of these job openings, the company is partnering with community college, high schools, and other workforce training programs. This all comes on the heels of the company's other recent investments, like a new 93,000 square foot facility in Lansing, Michigan, and a new 80,000 square foot facility in Foley, Alabama. What's making all this possible? According to United Technologies, the competitive tax system resulted from U.S. tax reform is encouraging global companies such as United Technologies to make long-term investments and innovation in America. This announcement is exactly the kind of headline you'd expect to see in an America that is growing again. It's exactly what you'd expect to happen as Republican policies continue to get Washington, D.C. out of the way of American workers and job creators and let them do what they do best, build an economy that's the envy of the rest of the world. Yesterday's announcement was no isolated incident. We're hearing announcements like this from job creators large and small, from national employers to Main Street businesses in my state of Kentucky and all across the country. Back in 2013, under Democrats' policy agenda, more than 2/3 of U.S. manufacturers reported that a hostile business climate due to taxes and regulation was a primary obstacle in their way. That was in 2013. Today, just 16 months into this unified Republican government, fewer than 1 in 5 say that. And this comeback for American manufacturing means new job openings for American workers, more prosperity for our small towns and cities, and higher take-home pay for more middle-class American families.